I only put one eyeshadow on my eyes. My secret is not to wear too much makeup.
Don't understand that.
I know, it looks like most of you don't. Actually.
No, we don't, actually, sorry.
As much as
Hey. Afternoon. Before we go any further, can I show you my latest coaster?
Yes.
Has anyone seen my hormones? Just thought I'd share that.
Not lately.
No, not for years. Anyway, please like and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And like and follow us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter, and don't forget to tweet.
And of course, as you know, we should all follow Instagram. Instagram is the most wonderful thing in my life right now, actually.
Please.
Oh, Sherrie, sorry. I'm going to have to stop you there. Or go to our website, amazingwonderbirds.com.
Tracy! Stop me.
Sorry, Sherrie.
Thank you very much, Tracy. That's with my heart.
Tracy, you're going to have to go, I'm afraid.
I love you, Sherrie. I love you.
Margaret's going to write in.
I'm so shocked. I must just have a drink of gin. Sorry. That's better. So, girls, what to watch Wednesday? I'm just going to tell you what I watched. It's called The Road to Coronation Street. It's been on before, I know, but it is the most fascinating story about Tony Warren, who, of course, created Coronation Street and how it began. And Jessie Wallace as Elsie Tanner is amazing, and Linda Barron as Ina. I mean, all the characters were so defined, and it was called Florizel Street, which is weird now when you think about it. And they very reluctant, Bernard, to actually make it, and thought, 6 weeks. And what is it? 60 years.
Wow.
Amazing.
6 years, Coronation Street.
That is.
And Bill Roach was there from the very, very first day. Isn't that amazing?
That's
and still
incredible.
there to this day.
Incredible.
And it made me very emotional because I did 5 years on it, and it is the most amazing show to be part of because the history is fantastic. Meeting all the. Sadly, I didn't meet some of them, but Bill Roach, I'll still always be in love with till the day I die. He's so charming.
Lovely.
That's me. That's me.
I was very privileged to do the street as well. I went in for the first time in 1981, and I remember going into the green room, which they had then, and they were all there. I mean, Annie Walker, the guy who played what was Bill Roach's uncle
Albert.
Oh, Albert.
Uncle Albert, no, Violet Carson wasn't there, but all the others sort of great. And I just sat in the green room, and it was just amazing. They were quite mean to the guy that played Uncle Albert because they used to steal the bananas before they got to him, because we used to like the bananas in the green room. But anyway, I digress. I've been watching George Clarkson, Mears and Spears, and I just love George Clark. Oh, I think he's amazing. I just love it. And I just think of all the different things to do because he inspires me so much. So I'm going to stop talking because I have talked too much about Coronation Street as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, talk about your program. It's fabulous.
Well, yes. I just love these DIY programs. Have I gone weird?
No.
George Clark is DIY, is he? He's it's design. And he's it's just fantastic. Absolutely, I just love it. I love it. And I love because he's from Sunderland and so am I, you see. So it's great. So I understand.
It's like when changing rooms came in with Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, a lot of females wanted to do DIY. So it became very sort of trending, and I think it's continued actually.
I've never wanted to do DIY.
No, I was going to say,
absolutely not. Sorry.
No.
I have to say, as well as cleaning, I also do DIY. Meaning, I actually sometimes put up pictures. That's my extent of it.
When we're out, I've got some DIY you can come and do here.
Yeah.
Right.
Tracy,
lots of pictures.
I get it.
What have you
way.
been watching?
Oh, I'm really embarrassed about this. I'm a little bit embarrassed because to have my brain calm down at night because I cannot switch off, I'm afraid my guilty pleasure is watching something called 90 Day Fiancé. Have any of you seen it?
Yes.
No.
It's so good. It's so good. I stumbled upon it. It's on TLC and it's on for 2-hour stints. So you can literally sit there and just sort of immerse yourself in it.
What happens?
And it's basically, it's about American people, so it's based in the States, who fall in love with people from abroad. And the thing with the States is, if you fall in love with someone from abroad, you can bring them over legitimately on a 90-day fiancé visa. So they have to get engaged and they have to be married within 3 months. And it's the story of how these relationships go. You know, some of them are just extraordinary.
Wow.
And they've only met over the
internet.
Yeah, you can imagine.
Or a holiday romance. And some of them, I'm afraid, you look at them and you think, no way. I don't want to. I've got to be careful what I say. You're like, no. But the stories and the drama, it is worth a watch if you want a brain freeze. If you just want to switch off.
Talk about brain freeze, Tracy. I've been watching an old box set of Sex and the City, which has been unbelievable, and it just reminds me of us lot, you know, because you know, all
no sex
how we
here though.
No, what's that? I didn't even understand the title.
Yeah, without the sex. But it is so good. And all the intrigues and the ex-boyfriends and the, you know, all the conversations and how we're going to be after lockdown when we meet up and have our brunches again. It's going to be amazing. But it's great, isn't it, watching stuff like that? Yeah. And it sort of takes you back about 20 years. Yeah. When I really got into it in the late 90s. No, fantastic. I loved it. So I'm not going to be embarrassed. I just love it. Harriet.
Oh. Well, I've been watching wonderful Alan Bennett's Talking Heads, which are absolutely riveting. They're also amazing. The performers are extraordinary. The Talking Heads themselves are brilliant. And it's riveting, and it's on for a whole year on BBC, and it's just started to amazing reviews. So it's really worth it.
Have you ever done a Talking Heads?
Only now, at this moment. Yeah.
No, because I actually did. I did The Actress, the one that Julie Walters played, and I did the Bolton Octagon, directed by Lawrence Hill. Yeah,
perfect. They're
25
amazing.
years ago.
Yeah,
Where was that?
Extraordinary. Martin Freeman was on last night and was brilliant. I mean, absolutely, his rhythm, his wit, it was stunning. But talking of Talking Heads, I'm now going to bring in our guest today, who is the brilliant film, television and theatre makeup designer, Naomi Donne.
Hi!
Woo!
Yay!
Morning, darling.
Hello.
Hi,
Naomi.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Naomi and I met on set about 40 years ago, which is impossible because we're only 35. And
you're born.
We've been friends ever since. And we used to have a thing called the Emotional Rescue Service, which is not unlike Wonderbirds today, which we still have going. She was the Empress and I was only a cadet, and she still calls me cadet. But when any of us were having some emotional trauma drama, we'd ring each other up. There was also a lovely Di Holt, who was also a makeup artist. And we were the Emotional Rescue Service. So we just ring up and go, help!
It wasn't just us we were helping though, cadet.
Was it not?
It was global. It was a global situation.
So it's almost like Wonderbirds are go. It is
Exactly. I was going to say international rescue.
It was. So how are you doing, darling? Because you were in the middle of filming Batman, weren't you? And you had to stop.
We had to shut down the Batman. But we will at some point, I'm sure, get going again.
Spectre was on the television the other day, and I was looking at all the Day of the Dead faces, all of which you created. You had something like 1,500 people to sort out. How the hell do you, when you do your research for all these different movies, how the hell do you do that?
Well, I didn't do them all by myself, cadet.
I know.
Start early.
When we did Spectre, we prepped that sequence. We had 1,500 extras. We prepped it for 6 weeks. I had a team of people in Mexico City. I was in Pinewood shooting the main unit, and I sent 5 makeup artists out to Mexico City, with and then we employed 150 Mexican makeup artists and body artists and street artists, all different people. And they did makeup tests for 6 weeks, and every day, hang on, I'm just changing my view so I can see everyone. Every day at Pinewood at around 5 o'clock, my phone would explode on WhatsApp with all the makeup tests coming through, and I had to approve every single one. So I did see all 1,500 makeups.
Wow.
I didn't do the hair on that though. I just did the makeup. And
But in this year, 1917, you were up for a BAFTA, obviously, and an Academy Award, an Oscar. That was one long track. How did you, with all the extraordinary makeup you did, all the wounds, all the different things that you had to research and injuries, or how did you do that? It
well,
must have taken
it's a huge amount of research we did, but there's also a lot of research that's very available. So I have an incredible team of people that work with me, that always work with me. We try and stay together from film to film so that we have a shorthand and a very good way of working together. But we did a lot of research, and World War One, there was a lot of stuff to see. We had documentaries, we had everything. And what I wanted to do was really recreate the soldiers in a very real way. I wanted it to be incredibly authentic, because that was the best way I felt I could honour the soldiers. We were all very aware of that. We're honouring the soldiers that died in that war. And I felt it had to be really true to how they looked. So we had a historian with us, a World War One historian, who knew every single detail about it. So what I did was I really worked out what their daily life was like and why they looked the way they did, apart from the fact that they were living in trenches covered in mud year after year. And it was weird things like when they entered the army, they all shaved their heads. It was all buzzed all over, and they weren't allowed to have any hair showing under their helmets. So what they did to rebel a bit, they grew all the top out and kept all this bit really short, so no one knew what was going on. And then they cut these weird fringes, so you couldn't see their hair sticking out. So when they took their helmets off, they had the weirdest haircuts, and that's what I did. I was really on doing strange haircuts and dirt and muck. It was a long haul. We had a
Fabulous.
I'm going to ask you, Naomi, you've had the most fantastic career, and I'm going to ask you something very, very trivial. What is in your makeup bag?
Where did I put them? I bought them. Oh, I've forgotten where I put them. Oh, here we are. Here we are. This is my favourite product. This.
Okay, what is it?
What is it?
What is
It's
it?
Is it a concealer?
It's one of those. It's a lipstick.
Oh, the green, yeah.
It's called Magic Lip, and it's like $5.99.
Wow.
And you put it on in the morning, and it goes whatever. It matches the colour of your lips, or it comes up, and it stays on all day. It's snog proof.
Oh.
And
Thank God.
because that's all I do all day, and it never comes off.
What,
Snog
snog?
non-stop.
What you snog?
Yeah.
Have you got it on now?
Yeah.
Come closer.
That's lovely.
It's a really
I've got
natural
it on.
colour, isn't it?
So you haven't got any natural lipstick on? You haven't got normal lipstick on?
It comes. No, that is all I'm wearing. This and a bit of gloss.
Where'd
a bit of balm.
Where'd you get it from?
I got it in my local chemist, but you can get it online. Magic, because they don't sell it anymore. It's called Magic Lips. And
Magic Lips.
really cheap.
Writing that down.
Write that down, everybody.
We
Yeah,
are.
Magic
It comes in a range of different colours, but the green is the best.
The green.
So if you were stuck on a desert island then, and you had to take just one product, it would be your Magic Lip, would it?
Yeah, it would, because I've always liked lipstick. I've always thought lipstick was the best thing of all, and it's very versatile because you can use it as a blusher, because we'll need a blusher on the desert island. You can use it as a blusher. You can slam a bit on your brow bone, which warms you up, on your throat, on your forehead.
Yeah.
You can just warm yourself up with a bit of lipstick.
Can you do that with that green thing?
You could, yeah.
That's incredible.
wow.
Did we just
Actually,
put
I'd be a
green
bit
all over?
worried. You'd have to be careful. Try it out first, because I haven't done it with
Yes.
lipstick.
Sherrie.
If your eyebrows are very hot, it might go really
It would
strange.
Yeah.
go funny colour.
Yeah.
I bought this eyeshadow in Makeup Forever 15 years ago, and that's what I use every day still, which just goes to show. I only put one eyeshadow on my eyes. My secret is not to wear too much makeup.
Don't understand that.
I know it looks like most of you don't.
No, we don't actually. Sorry.
As much as possible, I feel.
I'm not against having a lot of makeup on, Cadet, and everyone.
Actually,
you all
can
look
I just tell you
fantastic.
something about Debbie, Naomi? Debbie, when
Sure.
I met up with her again, she said to me, "Why are you not wearing makeup?" Because I was wearing very little makeup, and you actually saw I wasn't wearing any.
You weren't
So-
wearing any.
No, even going into the West End, is that right? I can't remember.
Nothing.
And so Debbie has forced me to wear makeup, so much so that I will not even answer the phone without having my false eyelashes on.
Oh, that's just made me ask a question. I've got to ask this from Naomi, the professional. Naomi, sometimes I find with people like us all, we all age, and a lot of people don't alter their makeup at all. You know, they stay stuck in, you know, when they were 20. And I must confess I can, because I get to know people really well when I treat them and they trust me, and we're very honest with each other about our own aging. And sometimes I find, I don't know whether you agree, but I was just listening to Dee, that sometimes people go too crazy on the lashes as they get older and try almost too. I mean, Dee looks great. She's got those big eyes and she can carry it off. But are there any things you'd say are an absolute no-no for women as they get older with makeup that you go, oh, the horrors, top tips?
I think it's a mixture of lots of different things. You want to keep your personality, your character, and the things that express who you are. And there are lots of different reasons that people wear a lot of makeup. And that is, as I've discussed with Harriet on my show, made up stories. When I've ripped all her makeup off, it's often your armor, it's your face to face the world, and you need it to get out the door and deal with that. But sometimes you're just in the habit of wearing the same old thing. And what I would say is a big no-no for women who are slightly older, whose skin is slightly lined or whatever, is a very heavy base and very heavy powder and a lot of grease, because it just sinks into those cracks and makes them look so much worse. Really, I think as far as your skin goes, I mean, I think eyelashes, eyeshadow, lipstick, all of that is an expression of who you are. If you feel comfortable with all of that stuff, you should wear it. If that's how you feel beautiful, you should feel like you look beautiful as you are, as Debbie or Dee or Cadet or any of you. You know, that's how it should be.
That's great.
I don't think too many eyelashes are a bad thing. No, I like eyelashes. I think you can get away with eyelashes and some lipstick and go out, and that's that. Eyelashes really make you look glamorous, as Harriet will tell you, because she doesn't wake up without her eyelashes on. She doesn't clean her teeth.
And I think also, as you said, there are eyelashes and eyelashes. You know, some of the eyelash, but I don't know exactly what you mean. It's that personality. It's your it's your own individual look, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I've noticed in lockdown, are we talking about lockdown at all?
Yeah.
Is it relevant?
Yeah.
I've noticed in lockdown, lots of people are wearing less and less makeup. I know I am. There are days I haven't put anything on, and I've gone out like that, which is very unusual. But
I've gone the other way. I've gone the complete other way.
Yeah,
because I'm having to get made up for the show, I've just getting made up every day, which I've never done for years.
Absolutely.
Really?
But that's good though. I mean, it might
here.
be the thing that just keeps you going and getting up and
Yeah.
functioning during the day. It's whatever it takes.
Exactly.
I quite like the fact that I'm not working, so I mean I have to get made up because I seem to do a lot of Zoom calls, even though you wouldn't think that from how my Zoom is cut out all the time. But so you do that. But I only put my face on really for that.
Your hair looks lovely,
I know.
Naomi.
Thank you
Your
very
hair
much.
looks great.
Thank you. Thanks, Dee.
What I was going to say to you is, I mean, I think people underestimate what you have to do as a makeup artist. I mean, it's a real profession. I met recently a lawyer female lawyer, who changed careers to be a makeup artist. And she said that everyone said to her, "Are you complete? You know, what are you doing? You're throwing your life away." And she said, because she had, it was like a calling for her, that she wanted to become a makeup artist, and she's loving it. I met her at Pinewood actually recently, and she's absolutely adoring it. And so what I wanted to ask you is, when did you know that you wanted to do this amazing job and career?
Me, or the lawyer? Me.
You.
I knew when I was about 17, and I was on my way to art school. I was not sure about what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something in the arts somehow. And I was sitting on the tube and I thought, someone must be making up those monsters on Doctor Who, I thought suddenly. And I thought,
as you
could
do.
be me. That could be me. Is that a career? Because makeup artists were unheard of then. Now it's a huge deal to be a makeup artist and a celebrity makeup artist and a YouTube, whatever. But then I didn't know if even people were employed to be makeup artists. So my mum rang the BBC and they said, yes, it's a career. And this is what, and we have a training school, but you need to have a degree, and you need to have either a degree or your City and Guilds in hair and makeup and beauty therapy. You had to be quite qualified. They had 1,000 applicants for every job, and there were only 10 positions, and they only came up every couple of years. So I'd left school at 16 with 5 O-levels. I didn't really know I was a bit of a mess. And so I went to the London College of Fashion and I begged them to take me, and they took me, and I did a 3-year diploma course, which is now a degree course actually.
Wow.
And I got into the BBC, and I begged my way in there, and I got into the BBC and had 3 years at London College of Fashion, and then 2 years as a trainee at the BBC. So it's a 5-year training, and it was incredible, and it doesn't exist anymore. We were some of the last people to go through that training situation, and because I was so well trained, it's enabled me to have this career that I've had, purely about the training, because when you're well trained, you're confident. You have a confidence that you can actually tackle something, and somewhere you'll know how to get out of it or deal with it. So and it was just amazing. It's an amazing experience to have that at the Beeb. And then once I knew, I just set off on my route, and I was very passionate about being a makeup artist. I felt that was the job for me. It was the perfect job for me.
That's exactly what I'm getting from you, that you're passionate and that you have complete belief in what you're doing. I mean, and confidence, which is brilliant actually.
Well,
absolutely,
you know what it is? It's when you get older. I mean, I'm not a chicken anymore, but when you get older and you're still doing okay at your job, you develop a different type of confidence. So even though you take on another job, you take on 1917 with Sam Mendes, and you think, oh my God, what does he mean one shot? What does that mean? And, but I love him, and it was an incredible experience. But you still get nervous. You still always nervous.
Yeah,
you're always nervous.
And that's the thing.
And the
in your field, Naomi, you obviously do prosthetics. Which is the most difficult in all the films and the wonderful characters you created? Which was the most difficult one?
There've been a couple. I think the first one was a film called Synecdoche, New York, Charlie Kaufman's film. It was the first film he directed. We had to age Philip Seymour Hoffman from 38 to 90. And all the characters in his life, we had to age them as well. And I discovered a new prosthetic makeup artist called Mike Marino. I lived in New York then, and he did all of these prosthetic makeups. And he's I think I consider him probably the best in the world actually, and he's working with us now on some stuff, and so that was very challenging because we had no money as well. It's a very low budget film, and Shrek the Musical was a challenging prosthetic makeup because you have Shrek in full face film quality prosthetic makeup. It wasn't theatre makeup. It was, I felt the kids had to really believe Shrek. Otherwise the show wouldn't work. So we were the first people, Mike Marino again, to do film standard prosthetics on stage with a guy in a fat suit, a full head of makeup, and dancing and singing for 2.5 hours. And when we took that makeup off, we released it, and literally it filled a bucket, the sweat that poured off It's
Yeah, would
unbelievable.
you?
Unbelievable it was.
Oh, it's incredible.
Wow.
That's hard.
Those are two challenging ones. Prosthetics are always challenging.
Yeah, I love it.
Because
Fantastic.
there's a lot of things that can go wrong, however
Yeah.
good you are. You're a victim of the weather and various heat.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Love to watch that.
Incredible.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on, darling, and talking. It's so interesting to hear all your ideas and your thoughts, particularly your 15-year-old makeup. I think has inspired all of us.
I wish I could
All of
find
us.
that.
I'm going to
Very
dig mine
much
out.
Honestly, my
Lovely
makeup
talking to you.
cupboard is a disgrace, girls. It's a disgrace.
Good. Good. Lovely to meet you.
I was very
Thank
happy.
you for coming.
Okay.
Thanks, Naomi.
Bye,
Lovely to meet you.
Bye,
Lovely. Bye.
Naomi.
Wow. Amazing.
Wow.
Oh.
Clever lady.
Amazing. At least
I'm
it's
so
not
glad I
just
can
us
use
that
my old
keeps
makeup.
makeup for years.
I'm going to go and dig mine out the garage like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, listen,
find
I've
it
got,
something.
you know, you can see that I've changed areas because I'm moving and I'm actually sitting on the dog bed, actually on the floor.
Cool.
But I just wanted a little bit of a shout out for Sky because I was supposed to be connected to my Sky broadband yesterday and it just didn't happen. And I thought, here we go again because it's happened to me before. And I sent an email to Sky this morning and I said, it's never going to happen. They said it's going to be 3 or 4 days. And literally, I said, I've got a show. We've got a Wonderbird show that we're doing, and I can't really work without my internet. It doesn't really work with 4G. And within 10 minutes, this guy rang up and said, hi, it's Nick from Sky and from OpenReach. And he said, don't worry about it. It's all on. It's working. So there you go.
I think we can all do that now.
Wonderbirds.
So
There
is that
you
the
go.
technique? That's the
That's your
technique.
password.
It is.
Fantastic.
So just so you know, mention Wonderbird. Say you've got 1.2 million hits on your website
And that's
and
it.
your show,
Fine.
and they
Yeah.
will make sure that your internet works. How about that?
Well
That's very
done.
impressive.
We'll give that a go for everything.
That's
Yes.
magic. Isn't that wonderful? Well, listen, I must tell you, I've just had an email from Alex Chu, and you know she's our
Yeah.
super fan, super friend.
Super fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was her birthday the other day, and we sent her some prosecco. Wines with Stories sent her some prosecco, and she's now drinking her way through the week, her birthday week. So,
Happy
and she
birthday,
says a
Alex.
big thank you to us, and happy birthday, Alex.
Happy birthday,
birthday,
Alex. Listen, on Family Friday, we've got H from Steps coming to join us.
And we shall be back. Yes, we'll be back next week. No, Friday. I don't even know what you see. I've become delirious. Tracy's going to be
Start
with us. Tracy's going to be with us every Wednesday, which is nice to do all our makeup and shows.
That'd be
and
lovely.
new-
Thank
new
you.
We
work.
need you.
We need you. And also,
Oh.
we're going to have Anne Henderson's going to come back, isn't she, to talk
Yes,
about?
she is.
Yeah.
All
Fabulous.
things, all things female.
Absolutely.
All
We
things
may have some
female.
interesting. We may have some interesting discussions.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Say before we go, Benny Dom tonight at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Of
And good
course.
night.
It's been a fantastic show today, and thank you for Tracy for being our honorary Wednesday Wonderbird.
Yeah.
Thank
And we
you.
will see you on Friday for Dress Up Friday. Who knows what I'll be wearing because I don't know where my clothes are.
Down Friday. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Tracy.
Bye bye, guys. Thank you.